Hello there, and welcome to Daniel's Infinite Playlist, and welcome to the classic album review section where we actually look back on time and review some classic albums. It could be an album released last year, or it could be an album released 20 years ago, or, well, a long time ago. But anyways, here's the classic album review. So today we're gonna review Ayumi Hamasaki's second album. I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong, but LOVEppears. Okay, I'm just gonna stick with LOVEppears. But anyways, this is a very amazing album. It's the second album of Ayumi Hamasaki, who is quite a known pop star in Japan, and she's actually one of the artists with the most sold remix album of all time, and I think it's her second remix album or something like that. But anyways, it's one of the most sold out remix albums of all time, and most of the styles represented on all of these remix albums she often incorporates in her own album, and I think that's just so amazing. And another thing that's quite unique for Ayumi Hamasaki, and I mean being a big pop star that she is that she writes and composes her stuff all by herself, and I just love this, and I just love this album to bits. Like, even if it's the cheesiest of cheesiest trance music, it's amazing. It really is. Like, there's no way you can hate this album. So anyways, how is it to listen to this album? Well, it's a bit like this. So welcome back. Anyways, we're gonna show you the CD boxing now. As you see, here's the jacket of the album art. I think it's very cool. It's an album art that was shot in New York City, and it's actually there in the photo shoot where she actually came up with the name LOVEppears, which has a double meaning, which love can be seen as very sweet and amazing at first, and then, you know, it can just be, I mean, just as terrible as well. I mean, Ayumi Hamasaki said that about seeing a couple on the street of New York, and she thought that they looked so happy and joyful, but then she said, but maybe they were just like in the middle of a crisis, so you never know why, I mean, what is exactly under the water. So that's why the title, so hence the title LOVEppears. Anyways, sorry. The album is full of like the lyrics and, you know, some nice pictures of her, also some yeah, like some thanks, and, you know, like where the album was recorded. And, you know, since I don't know much Japanese, I don't have really much use for the lyrics, but, you know, I always go online and check them in case. But it's always nice to have a booklet filled with this. Anyways, the actual review. Well, musically, this album is a very, very all-out Eurodance trance record. It's amazing. It sounds like 1999, you know, like it's very much of its time, but it's also very futuristic in so many senses, and you can actually hear like the artist having fun with all of these dance music styles that she's presented. And, you know, she just owns it, like, completely. I would have loved to see this album being played live. And it's also a quite big leap for Ayumi to have made, you know, during this album, because during her first album, she didn't actually use any dance music, and it was mostly like pop/rock music, you know, like the standard J-pop fare. But then, you know, due to the success of her first remix album, which was called Ayu Trance or something like that, anyways, due to the success of that album, they tried to incorporate more dance music, and they did so very successfully on this album. And to be honest, like, if you check like all of the other remix albums that came after this one, you see that almost all of the songs that they remix are from this album, and it's because, well, it's so anthemic, and you know, you can just really sing along to it. It's very amazing. I really love this album. And how are the lyrics? Well, anyways, since I don't understand Japanese, it's very hard, you know, to just understand what she's saying. But sometimes she mixes in, you know, some English in there, and you know, and also like with the sheer voice that she has, you can understand the feelings very well. And you know, most of the tracks are presented on English, so you can just feel what they mean. But if you research them, they're actually quite deep, and they touch on feelings of loneliness, inadequacy, love, and you know, it's a very mature and very amazing album, despite its, you know, dance music, which is more very, you know, like larger than life. And I love it so much. And well, I think I mentioned it before, but you know, she writes almost all of her lyrics on this album. It's amazing. It's crazy. I love it, and you can clearly hear that on the music, that it's you know, that it's just from her heart, and I just love it. More artists should do stuff like this, you know, like take charge of their own sounds. Oh, and I was just gonna say that, well, while this is not like a complete dance album, it also has like some slower cuts, you know, like ballad style songs that are very electronic. Sometimes they're very like Spanish inspired. They have some guitar, but I think they're actually the weak points of the album, because the album just starts like, wow, you know, like 7 songs that you can dance to, and then it just grinds to a halt. You know, with these songs, it kind of like meanders, but it's also very nice, you know, because it soon picks up the pace after that, and it's just, yeah, it's a great album. Anyways, what do I give this album? Well, I give it an 8 out of 10. It's clearly a classic album, and I love it so much. And it incorporates just all of these dance music trends from back then. So it's very much of its time, but at the same time, you just can't help but smile when you listen to it, because it's so anthemic, and it's so danceable. You just can't, you know, resist. I mean, at least I can't resist. I just love it when artists just don't care about the cheesiness, and you know, just go right through it. And you might think, well, if this is cheesy, then it just might not be serious. But it is a very serious album. It's just very, it's very serious, and it's very sad, and it takes, you know, like its themes with a life force that's just so amazing, and one that is almost rarely found, like in Japanese, you know, like idol / pop star music. So this is just a very nice album from 1999 nonetheless, and still sounds very modern. So anyways, here are the artist links down below, if there are some. I'm gonna check on Spotify if she's there, but I think she is. Anyways, if you're new to this channel and you just watched this video, please give a like and subscribe if you like, and don't forget to tune in to next week, where we have like a new album review on Wednesday and a classic album review next Saturday. So yeah, enjoy music, enjoy life, people. Vi ses! Hej då!